Now that we have learned the basics of Fluent API, let's understand relationships in Fluent API and foreign keys. So the first and the basic one is one-to-one relationship. We have one book object and we have book details. Both of them are related using one-to-one relation. Inside the book class, we need a navigation property called as bookDetail_ID, and we need an object of bookDetail. Inside bookDetail, we will need an object of book so that we can navigate. That being said, let's go back and let's see how things look like. Let me first open up the book, and I'll also open up the Fluent book. If we take a look at the book, right here we have the book detail. Data annotation is foreign key. We will not be using that. So we'll just copy these two lines and we will paste them right here. We'll close the books and let me open up the book detail. In book detail, we have the navigation property for book which we can use, and we'll paste that inside the Fluent book detail. So now we have the navigation property in place, but make sure here this will be Fluent book, and inside here it should be Fluent book detail. Once you have this, now we need to add the data annotation to tell EF Core that this book detail ID is the navigation property. So we'll do that in the application DB context and we'll set up the relation. So right here we have the DB context and we'll add a comment here. So we have one-to-one relation between book and book detail. Now how do we get this? Let me show you first what we'll have to do here. For Fluent API, we'll be using this. So here you can see model builder. First we have a has key and we'll determine the primary key. That we are already doing. After that, on the same book object, we have first has one. This is setting a one relation from book to book detail, that a book has one book detail. And after that we have dot with one. That means that book detail has one book. So this will encapsulate a one-to-one relation between book and book detail. And then we need the navigating property of foreign key, which we use using dot has foreign key on the class, which is book class, and the name of the property. So let's give this a try. We are right here. We have the book detail, so we can set it up right here. And first thing is model builder dot entity, and in here we have to think what will be the entity. The entity will be Fluent book because that has the navigation property. Then inside Fluent book, the first thing that we have to define is has one. Every book has one book detail. So we can say B goes to B dot, we have the book detail here. And then what is the relation of book detail to the Fluent book? For that we'll say dot with. We can use many or we can use one. Many will point to one-to-many or many-to-many relation. But we want one-to-one. So we'll be using with one here. And with one we have to point it back to the book. So B goes to B dot book. After that, what will be the foreign key? So we have the has foreign key. In there we need to define what will be the foreign key. In here we need to define the class, and class will be Fluent book. And what will be the name of the property? That we can go inside Fluent book. We will have book detail ID. We'll copy this and we'll paste it right here. There we go. So this looks for the foreign key relation with one-to-one mapping. One thing I will change here is you see we have book and book detail. Let me just change the name to Fluent book. That way we won't get confused. And we'll go here, we'll use Fluent book details. We'll come back to the application DB and let me change this as well as from book to Fluent Book. So with this, our one-to-one relation has been established. Let me cut this and actually paste this with our books, which is Fluent Book right here. Now that we have added this relation, let me save this and let me add a migration. So I named it Add One-to-One Fluent Book and Book Details. Perfect. Let's take a look at the migration. It is adding a column Book Detail ID inside the table Fluent Book. It creates an index there and it adds the foreign key. That is exactly what we wanted. So with this, we have completed the Fluent Book Details, and this looks exactly like the book details that we did with data annotation. So we'll close this and let's continue in the next video.